Wally, great to see you in person, sir. Fantastic to have you with us around a table. Let's start with the recent effort. There isn't much that you haven't sanctioned over the last 2 years. What's new about this, and what's the objective?
Important to remember that our objective remains the same, going after Russia's military-industrialized complex and their ability to earn money to prop up their economy and buy the goods they need to fight the war they want. What we're doing today is we are furthering those actions by going after companies in Russia that are helping to build military equipment. Today, Russia is running a wartime economy. Factories that used to produce goods for Russian civilians now are producing military equipment. We're sanctioning those companies, but we're also going after the companies that supply them in third countries in order to make clear to companies in third countries that you have a choice. You can do business with Russia and their military-industrialized complex, or you can do business with the United States and our allies and partners who are joining us in this effort.
What's India's answer to that right now?
What we've seen from companies in India, but companies around the world, is that when they have a choice between being able to sell things to 50% of the global economy versus selling things to Russia's military-industrialized complex, the choice is pretty easy for them. The key thing that we're doing today is we're sanctioning a number of companies you've never heard of that Russia has set up to try and buy things from India and other countries. And by sanctioning those companies, we put them on the radar of companies in India and in countries around the world, and they know that they can no longer do business with them.
When you look at the Russian economy, though, the IMF has upgraded their growth forecast for it. Sanctions haven't worked in the sense that the ruble has not been brought to rubble, as President Biden promised. Have sanctions worked, or they've just created new markets?
So it's important for us to remember what our objectives are with sanctions. They're to do two things: reduce Russia's revenues and put sand in the gears of the military-industrialized complex. Russia's revenues from selling oil, their most important product, down 40% because of the price cap and the sanctions that we've put in place, and we've promised to do more. Russia's expenses for their military are up 70%. Your viewers, they run companies, they invest. Any company where the expenses are up 70% and revenues are down 40% is not an investable economy. Russia's GDP is up, you're right, because they're spending more, but so is inflation and so are interest rates, and over time, that leads to a formula of a country getting smaller and weaker, not stronger.